Mythos by Stan. Deep underwater, 'neath Pacific waves, lies a lost city, forgotten Raleigh. There sleeps great Cthulhu, dreaming of the day when the stars will be right and evil hold sway. Near where he rests in his non-Euclidean home, beasts of the mythos swim, slither, and roam. A deep one sits next to a mellow sea dragon, singing sad, mournful songs about old Father Dagon. Hounds of the Tindalos watch Wallabaki tumbles and bumbles and does things quite wacky. The Shoggoths all gather around an old seaweed stalk, burbling and buzzing. That's the way that they talk. Now a Shoggoth can grow quite huge or stay small, but poor little Squammy was the smallest of all. Elder things teased him 'cause he was so weak. The Mygo just laughed and called him Pipsqueak. Poor Squammy got picked on for year after year, till one day he shouted, "I'm so out of here. You've kicked and abused me. From now on, no more. I've had all I can take. I'm heading for shore." So Squammy turned round, having mustered his pride, then headed towards land with the inflowing tide. After marching all night, land was almost in reach, when a big breaking wave dropped him right on the beach. "Dude," said a surfer, "what's that pinkish goo?" "Hands off," said his friend. "I think it's shark poo." "I'm not poo," cried Squammy. "I'm a beast from the sea." But the surfers fell over, laughing hysterically. Squammy could have run off, but he stood there instead. He reached out a tendril and engulfed that kid's head. A Shoggoth who's angry has but one thought in mind: digest his tormentor, leaving just bones behind. "Help! It's a monster!" yelled the other kid. That made Squammy proud of what he just did. "I am a real monster. I am bad to the bone. I've earned some respect. Now they'll leave me alone." But as Squammy oozed his way further on land, he saw lots of townfolk with weapons in hand.
A gun.
Shooting and stabbing just worsened their fate, for Squammy got bigger with each person he ate. Soon he was so big, Squammy dwarfed the whole town. No longer was he the smallest Shoggoth around. "Quit it!" said Squammy. "There's no need to fight." But an armored platoon rolled its way into sight. "I can't seem to end this. It wasn't my plan to cause a great battle. Who'll stop this? Who can?" Then a window display of a department store provided the answer he'd been searching for. If Squammy had hands, he'd raise some applause for the one who could save him. Santa Claus! He ate up some tanks as a last-minute snack. Then he headed up north, and he never looked back. A brief stop in Oakland to munch the Bay Bridge, and a night in Seattle where he napped for a smidge around the Space Needle. He marched on beneath Aurora Borealis and didn't stop until he reached Santa's palace. "Please, won't you help me? It's all been too much. I never did want all this fighting and such. I'm just a small Shoggoth deep down in my soul. To conquer the world was never my goal. I'm really not fond of this omnivorism. It happens to be my defense mechanism. First picked on, then shot at. You can see it's a strain. If I don't get some peace, I'll for sure go insane. If you don't find a way to get them to can it, I'm afraid I'll devour this whole stinking planet. Squammy's nerves were quite frazzled, after all he'd been through. So when old Saint Nick laughed, ho, ho, ho. Well, he ate Santa too!
But what happened to Santa Claus?
He ate him. I'm sure you can guess the last part of the story. It's frightening and awful and really quite gory. Squammy ate it all. Everything, everywhere. He drank up the oceans. He gulped down the air.
How do you gulp down the
Great Cthulhu awoke, yawned and stretched as he said, "What a strange dream I've had. Time to get out of bed." First he looked round in shock. Then he howled to the night. "Happy solstice to all. May your stars be all right."